All right, we got Froze on his channel stirring the pot a little bit. He even recently purchased his own battle. Him versus Chilla Jones uploaded it to his own channel. He's talking about some stuff in a very, very interesting take. I want to do some reaction to it. I want to see, is he right? Is he wrong? Is it something he should have been doing? Or is he going down a wrong road right now? Let's see. Some very, very interesting debate that we might have out of this, but could be an important topic, not just to league owners, but to battle rappers.
You know, being late is better than not arriving at all. You know what I mean? But, you know, you just go on a crash course and you just start looking. And I have so many videos on YouTube, far as when you even add interviews, battles, face-offs, Froze versus Clips, 1.4 million. Froze versus True Fro, 60,000. Loso 2 weeks ago, 17,000. Rosenberg Raw versus Jag, 200,000. Arsenal, 300,000. Ill Will, 300,000. Mike P, 200,000. Or this was a re-upload. 55,000 with Ines. 25,000 one rounder with Don Marino. 200,000. 700,000. 50,000. Damn near another 200,000. 110,000. 22,000.
You got some views on you, Froze. Hey, man. You ain't no B-class celebrity, man. You an A-lister, dog. They know you out there in the world. I see that clip you was talking about. If I'm walking around PA, you know, niggas definitely know who I am, because that was a different topic. That was talking about battle rappers working regular jobs and the pressure of having internet fame or being famous and having a fan base, and then like getting caught out there, like let's say working a cart at the mall, you know, and the pressures that come with that, you know, as a man, you know, it's just like, that's kind of bugged out. Some of our images is that fans or people that have watched us on the internet, on TV, you know, for X amount of years, to a degree, they look up to us, you know, in certain respects. So that's a different topic. I think that was a very, very good take as well by you, Froze. But man, now you got some views on you, boy. Nah, man, you knowing out there.
174,000, 100,000, 300,000, 120,000, 30,000. I'm not trying to get y'all bored here. I'm gonna land a punch in a minute. Okay. And these are, and I have so much shit that's in the algorithm now, my shit pops up, but you can't even see 156,000, 63,000, 43,000, 174,000. Interview.
The good thing about me personally reacting to this take that Froze has right here is that all the biggest videos that he called out numbers-wise are on RBE. Like pretty much all of them, like all the bigger numbers, multiple hundreds of thousands of views, the million view battle with Clips. I believe that's Froze's sole million view battle. And I took a lot of pride in that, you know, in the whole retirement run or whatever. You got, you know, Big K gets Cody, Ill Will gets Hollow, and the Hitman battle. Froze gets his million view battle with Charlie Clips. Show Off gets closure in his Blue Room battle with people like Head Ice. That was a battle that was lingering for a while, and so forth and so on. You know, but wow, like even him scrolling through this right now makes me see how much work that we've partnered together and put in. But the point that he's going to start to make about the views and the ownership of it, and then my reactions to it, I think that's going to be more important, obviously.
136,000, 183,000, 19,000, 400,000, 100,000, 200,000, 15,000. I mean, come on, man. 27,000, 15,000. Somebody get the calculator out. 80,000, 60,000, 140,000, 220,000, 90,000, 40,000, 240,000, 12,000. 18,000. I'm still go, Froze, go. Face Off, 52,000, 16,000, 400,000.
Go, Froze, go.
21. Oh, no, that's my shit. That don't count. 24,000.
And in the midst of this, he's skipping all the interviews and everything, because the media channels and the blogger
70,000.
They count.
Just doesn't stop. 40,000.
They count in a point, not just the battle. Not just the battles, content with your name.
Face Off, 32,000. I mean, I could continue to go. I'll stop here. There's literally 3 to 4 more pages of work. What's your point, Froze? Well, In a perfect world, if all those views were mine, I'd be rich. Not essentially, but you get me? Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views. That's Rosenberg. I'm not even nearly the highest viewed battler. I don't know if I'm even top 50 highest viewed. And I get really good views. You know? But just imagine somebody who gets significantly more than me, but doesn't own a penny of them. These are masters. These are our records. These are our albums. These are our singles. These are our lyrics. Our lyrics. But we don't own none of it. We got paid a flat fee, sign the rights away, and don't make a penny off of it. It's like signing a bad movie deal or signing, and some battlers have the information. Some battlers know. Some battlers are able to work out individual contracts for themselves because they know the business in ways that certain people do it. Majority of the mid-tiers don't have a clue about it or even how to go about fixing it. Listen, everybody can't get their battles. That's the reality of the situation. So I'm not sitting here saying you can wake up and say, give me my battle. But if you plan on doing 5 battles a year, 6 battles a year, why does it hurt instead of taking that $5,000, saying, you know what, give me $1,000 to do the battle and I want my footage? Especially if it's a pay-per-view event. Remember, that's double dipping. That's selling the pay-per-view to get money and then also getting the money off the drop, the long game, quick money, long game money.
So good point, Froze. Let me expand on that a little bit, even to let other league owners or even other battlers hear it, of why that works. You would think a league is here to play the league role. A battle rapper's role is to actually rap, right? And the fans fall into the middle of it, and there's a product that is consumed and paid for, right? So what does a league get out of saying, hey, if I'm not going to have ownership of the content, what's the point of me even thinking about, I'd rather pay you the $3,000 instead of the $2,000. I'd rather pay a little bit more. Like, why would I want to pay you less and then let you take the footage? Or you'd be surprised, people, how many times there's scenarios where there's no cost at all. And that is absolutely an opportunity to spin it, because if you are the sponsor or if you are the league owner, right, what happens is you get to capitalize financially. Now, there is a little bit of a reverse there, because the league owner that has the ownership going forward versus now coming to the instant gratification, I'm going to come back to that word later on. They got to take a little bit more of that side on, which means if I do a deal with Froze right now and I say I got this full circle or this one-off card coming up in March, and instead of me paying you, I'll get you a flight in a room, we'll leave it there, and I'm going to give you your battle. You're going to upload it to your channel. And that's it. Now, can't really use a full circle or one-off, because the point is really about the leagues that can monetize still, i.e. somebody that's selling something. I'm like more of a unique case in my retirement. I don't do pay-per-views and I don't sell tickets no more. I don't do VOD. I don't do none of that no more, really. But hypothetically, let's say my upcoming joint in March was a pay-per-view, right? Then I get to say, cool, I don't need to spend the money on booking him and paying his rate. Instead, I get to use his name on the card, and those tickets that come through the door and that pay-per-view that hits on the stream, I make my money there. He's going to have ownership going forward, but I'm making some money off of him that I didn't have to pay into. Okay, so that's the balancing act right there. Granted, the caveat there, and I'm not saying about Froze, but for any battle rapper, the caveat there is, if you're going to negotiate something like that, and if the league is in on something like that, you probably need to be a strong draw on the card. You need to be main event, co-main event, or at least one of the reasons why we all know behind the scenes the fans are paying for this card. Because there's this term that we hear a lot, and let's talk about it for real. Let's not sugarcoat this shit. When we hear filler, battle rappers diss each other. You just throwing on the card. You at the bottom of the card. You open the card. You was rapping before I even got to the venue. Battlers diss each other about it, right? If the battlers know it or use it as weapons against each other, what do you think's happening behind the scenes with how the league owners know who's who? Who's really drawing? Who's outside taking a cigarette break during your battle? What type of crowd walks in when we say main event time? when does a venue really fill up? At when the doors open, or do they say, I can miss these battles? How many tickets got sold when I put this trailer up and I announced your battle? You know what I'm saying? Like when we were rolling out Max Out 3, like you see how tactically we were even adjusting the price of things. It's just like, all right, after this next announcement, price of the brick might go up. And we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch us get all the way to the fourth announcement and say, oh, you thought it was gonna slow down? Calico versus Goods. And then watch, oh shit, I don't know. Why I ain't have my ticket yet? Let me go. I can see what Calico and Goods just did. I can see, I like by numbers. I can see it. I can prove it today. I can go pull up the dates and the time. We get a printout of, I can pull that off of Eventbrite and show the dates to every ticket sold and correlate that with a trailer release. I can keep those own metrics myself. I've been telling Holla to do that when he does his cars. I tell him all the time, I say, every time you do an announcement, jot down the numbers, keep your baselines, and then going in, you know where you're at. It even helps you on the back end of like predicting your stream because you see. Anyway, so that's how that could work. Like it works with sponsorship battles too. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say I sponsored Charlie Clips versus Shuni, which I did, right? For Winged. The pro for me is I pay Shuni and I pay Charlie Clips. I take the footage and hopefully the viewership of the footage, knowing that Charlie Clips is 100,000 view guy, no matter who he battles, pretty much, on my channel at least, right? I'm gonna make my money back, hopefully there. All right. Winged, she gets to put out her flyer and say Charlie Clips is on my card, and then his fan base that wants to come out and pull up and pay for a ticket at the door, that's a win for her. Anybody that wants to buy the pay-per-view or VOD for Charlie Clips, that's a win for her. Charlie Clips and Shuni, in that particular scenario, it's not like what Froze is saying here. They really don't care who the money comes from, whether it comes from me, whether it comes from Wing. I got a rate that I'm willing to do for this particular match, this particular card. Let's go. So technically, everybody's getting what they asked for. Or are they? Let's see. Let's keep going, Froze. All right, it's back on you.
Give them the quick money. They wanted to give you 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 3,500. They want to give you 3,500. Tell them to give you 500. Just give me 500. Pay for my travel, my hotel. Give me 500, and then I want my battle. If you're doing 5 battles, 6 battles, 10 battles a year, and you can just, let's say, if you're a battle rapper that does 8 battles a year, and you could just obtain one of those battles a year, but you rap for 4 years, well, you got 4 to 5 battles on your YouTube, on your catalog forever. Maybe that doesn't pay you forever, but maybe it takes your channel into a place where you get a subscriber base where you can start uploading personal content to where now you can start streaming, you can start reacting, you can start doing things because your channel now has traffic because of the battles that you paid for or the battles that you took less money for to obtain the footage.
Thank you, Froze. Okay, we all set. As he was talking, I was jotting down just a couple points. I just want to make sure I don't forget to say. He ended off right there with channel traffic. That is true, but there are factors to know about. YouTube as a machine, as an AI, as an engine, as an algorithm, as a content platform, YouTube, just the entity itself, doesn't know that on the Rare Breed Entertainment channel, this video I uploaded happens to have Big K rapping one of his best rounds versus this video right here is ARP talking about why Easy to Block Captain just got caught in his latest lie. It doesn't know. What it does know is the metadata. Okay, what's metadata? You're talking about, well, one of the things that it knows, the metadata, like let's say the title, the thumbnail to a degree, yes. The description, the tags, even though tags are getting weaker and weaker on YouTube, they're becoming less and less important. There are some extremely successful channels that don't even use tags anymore because they've built up that fan base and that engagement and that source of truth. That is a strong word on YouTube, source of truth. You want to know what a source of truth is? A source of truth is like if Froze tried to bootleg every battle on the RBE channel right now, like rip them off of my channel and upload them on his channel. Let's say I didn't have Quarter Lab take them down. I just let them all sit on his channel. my channel is already the source of truth. So when you type in Rosenberg Raw versus Charlie Clips, YouTube points more towards the RBE channel than it will towards this newer one that popped up. Didn't have that title originally, didn't fingerprint it, didn't have that engagement that long, didn't have the traffic from it, didn't have that source of truth in the metadata. You know what I'm saying? Now, engagement is always a fucking thing, obviously. So that's where Froze's point makes a lot of sense, because if I can upload Rosenberg Raw versus Chilla Jones on my channel, and then I do a blog 2 weeks later recapping it, I can feed to a degree off of that traffic a little bit. That's why people sometimes rush to titles that are booming, especially old YouTube algorithms. Something hit the net, like a league drops the battle, the recappers and the bloggers want to have those names in the title right away. YouTube is a little bit more, it's not as wild like it was with that before, but it still counts. It still counts. That's why, like, even when I was doing my 14 days, 14 nights on Averb, because this isn't a shot, I'm just really talking truth about YouTube, and hopefully we all continue to learn about this shit so we can make money. It wasn't a shot. It was dead serious, and I showed it. Because Averb's name outside of battles on YouTube, especially within that time frame, was so weak on YouTube, I was able to take over his name as a source of truth temporarily on YouTube, and I showed it. I showed because of my metadata, I'm gonna do that for 20 days to easy if you fuck with me. And because there's not a million within the last month of easy to block for or Averb titles jumping up, I take over that name. So even if I start using metadata that says Averb versus, right? If some of his older battles aren't getting that much traction right now in this video, in this window, then I start to become a source of truth temporarily, especially being that I already have a lot of Averb metadata tied to my channel. You see? So, Froze, how does this work with a battle rapper thinking about doing this? The word consistency comes into play. You can't upload one battle or two battles and then jump or spike that much continued gravitational pull from the search engines within YouTube towards you for Rosenberg Raw. What you will get if you only do this once a year or once in a blue is instant gratification. I still want to hold on to that word. I still want to hold on to that for a second. So, next point I want to lead off of that one now is that makes it actually a winnable position that the battle rappers are in. And here's why. Let's use Holla, for example. You want to know what's so cool about being Holla in respect to his battle rapper draw? When he starts his own league, he doesn't have to book himself. You get it? Somebody doesn't have to come up with $100,000 deposit to book him. He gets to put his name at the top of that flyer and sell tickets the same way a league would with his own name, and that becomes a easy way to manage the finances of it. So I believe Froze has an idea of possibly booking his own battles and that he would battle in. If he would do that once every other month, Rosenberg Raw versus that piece of metadata, that piece of algorithmic traffic, that consistency, he would draw on his name the same way he went through that page like that. He would draw on it more. And then obviously his own subscribers that are already by nature there fucking with his channel, battle rap fans that are already there by nature. You see what I'm saying? But here's a jewel for all YouTubers, including me. Should I teach y'all this shit? Yeah, I should, because that's my character. They don't hit me though. All YouTubers, if you make a check off of YouTube, don't shoot for the fans that are already with you. Shoot for the new eyes. Have that mentality with every piece of content that you drop. Craft your content in a way where you hope that you can bring new people. The people that rock with you, they already rock with you, is the point. That's why I'm not really big on promoting or being hype about old subscribers. I'm hype about new subscribers. I'm hype about when I do a Kendrick Lamar versus Drake reaction video that does 250,000 views or some shit, And then I got fans that come around and say, "Yo, I met you during the Drake and the Kent. This is real story." And then I looked at the rest of your channel and I stayed. I stayed for the rest of the shit you was talking about. Now, when I see you talk about Little Dirk or whatever, I'm interested in your type of takes. That's what I shoot for, especially on my second channel. The new eyes, the people that don't know ARP from battle rap. Even on this channel, I want new eyes. Okay. Now, you'd be surprised how many of our subscribers are dead. I don't mean literally like passed away, even though that is a reality, right? When I say, I mean like inactive subscribers, people that subscribed years ago and don't even look at that content anymore, don't use YouTube anymore, don't follow you anymore. You can't even use, when people use disses to talk about you got X amount of subscribers and you only did X amount of views. That person, whoever uses that or says that, doesn't know YouTube. It's an ignorant statement by definition. Your subscribers will never amount to, especially in today's YouTube algorithmic state, it doesn't equate to how much views you're going to do. It comes down to watch time, engagement, metadata. Watch time is like king right now. Okay. But point being, hip hop is real has like almost 500,000 subscribers. If you go to their channel right now, they probably got some uploads that's 1,000 views, 2,000 views. Same thing with me. I probably got videos on my channel, 1,000 views, 2,000, like more within the last year. But I have almost 500,000 subscribers. So what is your subscribers doing for your viewer count, number for number? Shit. Think about your content today and the impact that it makes right now versus going forward. Not about what happened yesterday. That's not correct YouTubing in today's recent YouTube world. Okay. So that leads me now into like I said, battlers don't have to pay for themselves. Let me go to the instant gratification piece. That is the nature of battle rap forever. So Froze actually isn't exposing anything here. What he's doing is, like I started the video, he said better late than never. He's waking up. You know, sometimes people never wake up. Sometimes people sleep forever. Sometimes people are awake, but they just have a different decision, regardless whether they have the information or not. I've negotiated with battle rappers about pay-per-view deals for whatever that shot it down, and that's cool. They didn't see it. They didn't see the idea. They didn't see the vision. I'm talking about super top tier, obviously, because if I'm talking about a pay-per-view deal, I know that they're a draw, and it's worth me splitting off a percentage of however I come up with this contract. But anyway, battle rappers in general, by business nature, seek instant gratification. They treat it like battle rap really is a hustle, but they almost treat the payout portion of it like a job, which is I'm walking into this office. I don't give a fuck what the owner got going on once I walk out the door at 5 p.m. As long as this Friday or next Friday bi-weekly or whatever my pay schedule is, if my check hits, we have an understood business deal. That's it. I'm gonna eat some shit along the way. I'm gonna give some shit along the way, but I'm not showing up today at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. unless I know this Friday I'm getting my check. And that's pretty much, it's not even just battle rappers. That's a majority of the world. Like if the whole world was owners and, for lack of better words, the rest, like a small percentage were workers, then nobody would be doing the jobs, right? So the worker side of things is tied to instant gratification. It's the person that doesn't always want to deal with the headache of what an owner has to do, doesn't want the responsibility of an owner, doesn't want to face the potential losses of an owner. Bosses take losses is a key phrase for a reason. A boss is supposed to sit in a seat where they can make the most money, but they also have the most risk. Okay. If I open this store right now, this business right now, and it costs me $300,000 to get off the ground, that's my $300,000 off the line. If I hire, that's like a true story for me. If I hire a hairdresser and she starts to work for me and she's getting paid, I don't know, like $400, $500 a week, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I shut this business down, she just goes and becomes a hairdresser somewhere else. Me, I have to figure out this $300,000 that I invested. I have to write some of this off. I have to try to sell some of this equipment. you know, and that's where even a card turnout, you know, battler walks away. I got paid. My battle is good. But what if I take a reputational hit that makes fans not want to buy my next card because the main event and you weren't the main event flopped and people don't want to buy into my product anymore. They don't trust my product, or half of the card didn't show up. You showed up in rap, but the other half of the card didn't. And now I lost you still get paid. So if Rose is going to book his own battles, then obviously you have that part that comes in where he has to pay the other side. But I already said he's still at a better spot than me financially because he doesn't have to pay himself. I have to pay both sides. A battler has to pay one side. Okay. Organize all the league owner stuff, put it together, get your camera crew, get you're not, if you're not going to stream it, and this is about content on YouTube and building up your channel, it's very easy to shoot a battle. It's very easy to get a cameraman, get an opponent, write 3 rounds, stand on camera, rap, shoot it, edit it, upload it. That's easy. And I think battle rappers should have been complementing their careers with that forever. You know, during low moments or when leagues aren't reaching out, or if they're in a cold spell, fans ain't really rocking with them at that time, you have to take things into your own hands. Jay Mills, for example, on his channel, he's taking his own engagement into his own hands and away from a league. Okay. He's saying, I want to drop right now on Easy to Block Captain. He doesn't have to wait or call Frank ARP or Olive Branch URL like Easy. You know, he doesn't have to do that. He just says, yo, Ron, send me that beat if you don't have a package of beats already. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes out, finds a good location, he shoots his shit, uploads it, and he makes his bag. All right. So what type of person do you want to be? Because instant gratification is something that when you're in your teens, your 20s, and part of your 30s feels perfect. Instant gratification by the time you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you look back the way that Rosenberg just did when he was scrolling YouTube, and you say, I might have missed out. There's no perfect approach. It just comes down to the individual. Some people are investors. Some people are in it for the long run. Other people want it right now. Okay. Because you can be like me, for example, and go through all of those years where you were sacrificing your money, or you were taking L's, or the money wasn't coming back and you were in the red. Right. But then when you get 10, 11, 12, 13 years later, a battler like Rosenberg might scroll down YouTube and say, look at all my content that's still doing views. Me versus Charlie Clips happened in September 2023. Every time I turn around, it still does another 50,000 views. What the fuck? It's the investment sometimes. And that's the gift and the curse on the league owner side. And then there's the gift and the curse on the battle rapper side. Which one do you want to be? You want my answer? Be both.